live from the Masonic Temple in Salt Lake City.
I love this fight. This is the fight that he's excited to watch.
Joel Harrow, top bantamweight in the States.
We are so lucky to be cage-side for this. Spins his way to a big-time blow.
And how tough is this guy?
And that first shot, he was out. Joel Harrow!
What a main event to cap us off for the night, huh?
And I'll be back in the Masonic in December.
The Tongan Kong strikes again. Siwatu, welcome home.
They told us to give a disclaimer. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, owners, sponsorships, or employees of thereof. Pretty much, if you're soft, don't listen to this podcast. One thing I pride myself on is just being the same and trying to look out for my folks along the way.
Like, even with all these, big things happening, like, you still mad humble, and you still, like, you have enough clout now where you could easily be like, I'm not fucking with this, I'm not fucking with that.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers, it's on. Unrestricted Podcast listeners, thank you so much for clicking play. Because of you, those numbers are going up, up, and up. And as you know, the Patreon is alive and well. Patreon.com/DreRawka. If you want to just share, like, comment, subscribe, that's also good as well. Welcome to 2026, by the way. This is my first guest of 2026. She is the author of Whole, My Journey to W. Her physical copy is out right now. Yeah. It is a memoir of survival, healing, reclaiming a voice after childhood sexual abuse. Amber shares her journey from silence to shame and shame to self-love and purpose, offering so much to the community with this book. And now we're here to talk about the audio version of that book coming out January 17, 2026. Amber Washington's in the studio, along with producer Proof, DJ 150Proof.
I like that, producer Proof.
Producer.
Did I get that title right? Are you the producer of this joint?
I did produce it, but I did not. I executive produced it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
how does that feel though? You had it was summer 25. You dropped the book, and then you went on a really good press tour. Like, I feel like I seen you everywhere.
I hope you saw me.
I think I sent you a picture. I was like eating my oodles and noodles in the morning, and I was like, "What the? She's on my news program." I think it might have been Good Day Utah or something, or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
Good Day Utah, The Place, and then we've got one more coming up. We've got press confirmed to be at the event on January 17th. So
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So how does that feel to
surreal?
You put your healing journey into this book, and now you shared it with the world, mm-hmm. and now you're getting the recognition for it. You've been on this press run. How does that whole thing feel right now?
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild because I've spent so much of my life being told that I was dramatic and crazy and feeling like any type of attention that I was seeking was received in a very negative manner. And so to flip that switch mentally, it's not really a switch. Like, it's like a dimmer. Mm-hmm. Because it's been a gradual process of just being like, Amber, you deserve this, and there's always going to be people that, you're always going to have haters. You're always going to have naysayers, right? And I've been very fortunate so far that I haven't seen or heard any of that online. Family's a different issue. But I do want attention. Like, this is something that needs attention. So this is not just about me and my story at all. This is about amplifying voices and educating the masses. And so any attention that I'm receiving, I will take, because hopefully you're listening and hopefully you're resonating with some part of my story, whether that's you're another survivor or you're a support system, or some of the really cool feedback that has come is this is reaching different age ranges. I'm tracking all of this as much as I can. Ages, genders, like over 30% of my readers so far have been men. Both of you have read the book, mm-hmm. And different cultures. Like, it is really incredible. I really thought that when I wrote this, it would be survivors that would, want to read it, that would read it, and that would be supportive. But that's not true. Like, this is everybody. And no matter what the background of the person is, a lot of the feedback that I'm getting is like, I can relate to something in your story, because it's not just about the sexual violence or the sexual abuse. It's about life and what life looks like, especially when you start with trauma.
One thing that for me, when at your story in the book, it reminds me that there are signs to look for. I mentioned this to you that like as a father, like you can see signs before it gets to a critical moment, and just to be present and picking up things and listening to your kids, and it's not just blowing smoke.
No. Well, and you nailed it, right? And we did. We talked about this a little bit last time, but listening, like just give kids a space to talk and they will tell you. But kids have to feel like they're allowed to talk, you know, and that they're going to be heard. They're not going to be punished for different things that they say.
What's the reception been like?
It's been really positive. I'm up to 23 reviews on Amazon. They're all 5 stars. That's amazing. I pulled stats. Like usually it's 1 to 2% of readers that will leave a review. You know, we have over 200 copies of the book, the physical book, right, that are out right now. And with this audio release, it's going to be on Audible really soon here. Really, that should double, if not triple, right there. We are 4 months into this. Like, this is more than I can wrap my head around, genuinely, most days. I sit in this perpetual cloud 9, you know, and I've had some lows that would drop me. And that's just part of the process. You know, I mentioned family. That hasn't been received great by everybody. But I also knew that was a risk going into this. And it's a risk anytime that you share your story, especially when it's around family. That's why childhood sexual abuse still is a problem, because it thrives in silence. And that's because so much of the family dynamic, and it doesn't matter. That's another thing that I'm learning as I talk to people. We all come from different backgrounds, but so much of the way that we are raised is the same. And that's, you know, what happens in the family. It's like what happens in Vegas. What happens in the family stays in the family. And that fear and the shame and really the ostracization that happens if and when somebody speaks, I understand why people stay silent. And I get it. But for me, I just knew that I couldn't. You know, I knew that my voice is my greatest superpower, and that it was going to help me, that it was going to help my children, that it is helping my family, and that it was going to help so many other people. And so to have that feedback come and to receive, you know, it was so far beyond the reviews, which are really cool because other people can see those and it's helping, you know, the book and the message. But it's the DMs that I get. It's the private conversations. It's really cool, you know, and it's so validating for me because I took a huge risk. I mean, in so many different ways, right? Not just in sharing my story and having people be upset with me. And anytime that we put ourselves out there, we are opening ourselves up to trolls, to hate, to,
Absolutely.
you know, comments on our appearances and our parenting and whatever it is, right? But I knew that I have thick enough skin to handle that, and that I really, at this point, I feel like it's a responsibility. Like I couldn't do anything. So taking the risk just in sharing my story, but I took a massive risk in leaving my career in tech to be able to pursue all of this in this company, you know, that I'm starting. The
reception obviously is great. You made the full announcement that the audiobook is coming? I know we've seen behind the scenes that we're recording and stuff, but have you made like a full, this is coming January 17th?
Yeah.
Yeah. The event. Yeah. So the event is out there. That's what the event is. And I've kind of rebranded the event. It's called the Voice Collective, because one of the things that I've decided that I'm going to do anytime that I'm doing a book signing, a book, anything, is bring in other authors, and not just authors, but creatives, right? Because sharing our story is so important. And that's really what this is about. This is amplifying voices. So at my January 17th launch, we will have 3 other authors. They're all local authors that will, be spotlighted for 5 minutes or so, be able to share parts of what their journey has been like and what their books are about. My friend Giselle that designed the book cover for me, she's an amazing artist. She'll be there talking about the process for her. Proof will be there talking a little bit just about what the audio process was.
That's news to me, by the way.
Yep.
I did not know I was speaking.
Yep.
I thought we was just there to do production.
No, he's gonna.
Well, I'll be speaking, guys.
He's gonna be asked. Yeah, just hey.
Cool. I'm gonna do a Chris Brown meet and greet kind of thing.
No.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Nothing. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, we're gonna do pictures like that.
Yeah,
eh?
that's what I'm gonna do.
$1,000 a pop.
Hello.
Okay.
You know the price.
Yeah.
I did not pay for it. Let's be very clear.
She got the sneak up.
$1,000. Took that hit. Nice.
Oh god.
Were you the girl that had the pictures in her locker? Did you ever have
No, but oh god.
Maya was definitely in my locker.
Maya?
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you. I never had pictures in my locker.
Nia Long. Maya. I had a few. It was a time.
I know. Now you got me thinking about all my Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Was it JTT?
Yeah, isn't it so like all the? I can't say that. That's gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. I can get away with it. My brand already sucks. You got a clean brand.
I know. And trust me, I'm aware of that now. I'm like, gosh, I gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Oh, my license plate? Oh, okay, I gotta be careful about how I drive.
Yeah.
You got a personalized license plate?
Yeah. Guess what it says?
Well, we can't say it because I don't want people to just spot you.
Oh, that's true. Okay, we'll talk about
let's
it
keep it off air.
but people will know. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's Amber.
There's an old 80s movie called Adventures in Babysitting. It's one of my favorite movies. And the boyfriend that dogs out the girl, his license plate says, "So cool." It's like, oh, I'm so cool.
Nah, personalized plates to get you in trouble, man. I had 150Proof on my Chrysler in New York. Oh, you at the barbershop. Oh, I'm like, God damn, yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to start lying. Like, nah, my car might be there. I'm not. Damn.
You can't be road raging with a personalized license plate.
No. I mean, and you
I don't
shouldn't.
worry about road rage.
You shouldn't be anyway, but.
I don't worry about that.
You don't. You're like, spot me, bitch.
Yeah.
I just be relaxed on the road.
It's because you're a dad.
Yeah, I just chill. Like if I see something crazy,
you're a dad. Maybe one day.
How you gonna have road rage listening to Sade on your way to the studio? Like, come on.
Nah.
You can't. Smooth operator, you can't.
Nah, you gotta have that certain bow and just go. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how you can drive in Utah and not experience road rage, even if you're super calm, like even if you're just like, you asshole type thing. But
there's levels to it.
Oh my gosh.
When you guys, when was the moment you're like, we need to put this on audio form?
That's a good question.
I feel like I knew right away, that I wanted to do it, but there were a couple different conversations that we had.
Correct.
I just told you guys, you both have amazing radio voices, but when I hear my voice, I'm like, why would anybody want to listen to me, or, how would that sound type of thing. So I started doing research, like what does that look like? And even just from a financial standpoint, it was going to cost me a lot more money to have somebody else read my book, and you're not going to have the same emotion that you get from me. So that was a big part of the decision. But I feel like it was pretty early on in the process of like, okay.
The book had been out for like maybe a week, 2 weeks, if that. And it was just like, hey, I'm thinking about doing audio. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I asked her the most serious question, like, hey, you want this to be like a monotone? Are we going to get a voice actor, or do you want to do it and we're going to, put expression and emotion in it. It's like, oh no, I want to tell. So I was like, okay. I was like, understand. If you're gonna do this, it's gonna be a lot of reliving. So,
oh my gosh,
it was a lot. It was.
Well, take me through the planning of this thing. I want to lead up to you getting in the studio, getting behind the mic, but take me through the lead up. Are you guys? Is it just you two planning out scripting this thing? Is it just you saying I'm just gonna read a book? Kind of take me through the initial planning of this thing.
Well, she called me and was like, "Hey, I want to do it." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I had to ask those questions. I was like, "Okay, this is how we would have to do it." It wasn't much scripting involved because the book itself, she wrote it. That's one. What the book entails, literally, if you just read it, if someone else was to read it, just on a microphone, some emotion has to come out because there's no way you can read that book and just be like, on this day, da 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 da. Nah, it's like, even if you read a paragraph and then you messed up because you have to go back, you'd be like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So her actually doing it, that saved a lot of time, a lot of auditioning, stuff like that. So it was perfect, man. Wasn't hard. The hardest part, I think, was putting someone who has never been behind a microphone behind a microphone. That was the hardest part. But she was ready to tell. It's her telling her story, so she was ready to physically tell her story. So
how was Proof guiding you through this thing?
Oh, he was amazing.
Was he like on his no pun intended, but were you on your Diddy?
At points, I was, but I had to explain to her, like, yo, listen.
Yo, read that shit.
I didn't have to get that. I didn't have to get there.
You did with Doc, though.
Oh, yeah, with Doc, yeah. So real quick, put a pin in that. So Doc comes in, which is real cool.
And who's Doc?
Doc is her therapist, and he wrote the afterword on the book. Mm-hmm. So I did ask her, like, hey, her mom wrote the foreword. So I was like, you want your mom to read and Doc to read since, we're doing this? She was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. I'm like, yeah. So when Doc came in, Doc is reading it like we gave him a script. I was like, yo, bro, you are reading it like you ain't write this. Did you write this? He's like, yeah, no. I'm like, okay, yo.
It was so funny because Doc is very intelligent and he's also a very good conversationalist, right? So he starts reading and I'm just looking at him like, what is going on?
Did you write this, bro?
It was hilarious. So then he stepped in and he's like, yo, you sound like you're reading it. So that was a cool part of the process for me because my mom and then Doc came in our very last recording session. So at this point, I'm a professional.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And so to just sit back and watch them both read a page and a half, and all of that was really cool. But I did some research on that part of it too, just like how is this unique, and for a memoir, it is incredibly unique to have more than one voice, but especially to have three. It was an honor for me to have my mom be in a place in her life and her healing that she could write that forward to begin with, and Doc had been with me the last 2 years of my journey, and it has been such an integral part of the community building and the healing and just all of this, so to have that there as well. But I'm somebody that, like, I need to feel cared about, especially if I'm paying you my money. Like, if I feel like you care about me, then I'm going to keep coming to you. But with this one right here, just having a friend that I know cares about me and understands the story, I don't know that I could have done it with anybody else because
You could have definitely got it done. Like I said, the book, I'm not saying it because it's you and I know you, but the book speaks for itself, man. Like, literally, I don't do projects, not trying to sound cocky, but I'm in a point in my career where I don't take on projects that I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the money situation. Like, oh, this is the bill. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. I'm at that point in my career. I've done enough, But this, I felt like it needs to be told. It needs to be told correctly. And then when she agreed that she wanted to do the emotional part, after reading the book, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I produced it, but Chance, he engineered it. So I had to let him know, like, bro, we getting ready to go into something kind of wild. You know, so, like, it was, I hate to say it was fun to bring that emotion out, but it felt good to know that I was still able to do stuff like that. Because I've done it before in music, you know, R&B songs and stuff like that. You know, you change the lighting, you change the scent in the room, you know, it changes the person. So to be able to use all those different things I've learned throughout the years in college and stuff like that to make certain things happen, hearing it back, it was like, yeah, that's the money shot. Even though like she's literally like yelling, no. Me and him listening back like, that's the shit right there. Yeah, you know, but it's like, okay.
But he's not giving himself enough credit. Because yes, all of that was amazing. And Chance did an amazing job too. But I had no idea that was going to be as hard as it was. Writing your story is one thing. Telling your story is another thing. Reading your story out loud is a whole other ball game. And so that's part of it is that having somebody in the room with me, and my sister Heather came a couple different times too, which was so good because by the time I was done with I think it was the first 2-3 sessions max, you know, I was sick. Like I felt like I had the flu, you know, and I needed somebody to be able to drive me home. That is how much it took from me. So to be able to have that experience with somebody that I know genuinely cares about my well-being too. No, I don't know that I could have done it with somebody different.
I appreciate that.
What was the biggest difference between writing your story, and reading your story for the audio? I understand you said it's different saying it, but you also say it when you're writing it on paper. Yeah. So what was there a big night and day? Which one was, I don't want to say easier, but
no, reading it out loud is 10 times harder. And I don't know that I have the answer for like why or what it is. Because you're right, as I'm writing, it's coming out of my fingers and my brain, right? And as I'm editing, like we talked about this on the last one, every single time that I read a chapter or, you know, went through and read the whole book to be looking for things, I was unlocking something new every time, which was a beautiful part of the way that it kind of turned out is like there are parts of that book that were being written in real time. Mm-hmm. But so, you know, reading back and reading just silently to myself, but I just think that it's the visceral reactions that come out as, you know, there's a chapter in the book that I'm talking about being date raped, and I still can't even, think about that without getting emotional. When you're reading your own rape, it's really painful, but I also think that it's really healing at the same time, but I can't not live it again when I'm speaking it. I think that that's the biggest difference.
What was the biggest challenge throughout this process?
For us,
for you guys, for both of you,
saying milk.
Oh my God!
My Utah accent.
Oh my God! So much is so funny, that too. But for us, it was like I had to do a lot of research as well. Audiobooks are one thing, but today's world, the ear of a listener is totally different. So her voice mess around in those frequencies where you can kind of tone it out after a while. So we had to go in and make sure certain parts dipped a certain way, certain frequencies where the listener their ear wouldn't get tired. So it's like just doing a little research like that, and then messing around with a simple little thing like a reverb and stuff like that, just to make it sound more warm or more appealing to the ear. Because again, you don't want something to be missed. I think for us, since it is like not so emotional, but it is emotional, when she's reading it, of course she wrote it. She's reading it, but she's also speaking it. So some of the words she's putting out on the microphone is not in the book. So we're like, yo, we got to go back. Like, this has to reach. Like, oh, my bad. Or she'd be like again, you know? So then listening and editing it, it's like one of them old typewriters. Like, damn, how many times do we do this one part? But, you know, those are some of the difficulties that people don't understand when recording. Like, what microphone to use? Should she stand up? Again, it sounds bad, but she did have knee surgery, right? So some parts I needed more emotion. I made her stand. So she had to stand on that knee. So it was hurting even more. And it's just like, I know she hates me right now. I know she does. But it's like, yeah. So little things like that, man. People think you get behind here and just, and it's just like, it is not that easy. You know, I've never recorded myself. Like doing an audiobook. I've done a few audiobooks, like cookbooks and stuff like that, but just something like this, it was a little more research was involved because we wanted it to sound the way that it should sound, because somebody's not going to read the book, but somebody will listen to the book, and it's just like, damn, I'm driving and I'm listening. My goal was chapter 17, chapter 18, like those rape scenes and stuff like that. I want you to pull over because you need to wipe your eyes. Not because you can relate, or solely because you're sorry that happened. Like, you hear that emotion. There's no way, like, you can't be that heartless to be driving, listening to it like, ha, 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 ha. Like, when you hear it, certain parts, it's just like, damn. So, like, listening back and editing, there was parts where I needed that damn moment. And if I couldn't get the damn out of me, I was like, this doesn't sound right. So just messing with frequencies, EQ, little effects, then it'd be like, damn. Okay, cool. And then when we went back and mastered it, Chance and I mastered it together, like, we was on the same waves, like, yo, like, damn, like, yeah, and he was in there the whole time. So it was like, for him to say damn, like, yeah, we got it. We got it. So there's little stuff like that, man.
I can't wait to hear it.
And what about you? What was the biggest challenge for you?
There were definitely, just words that are hard to say.
You wrote them.
I know.
Hello. Do you have an example?
Oh my gosh. Well, I said milk, right? Like, even, like, really, so much of it is just like my Utah accent.
Yeah.
You know, but there.
You say milk or milk?
Milk.
It's milk, right?
Milk.
But I don't hear it any
Milk.
different. Yeah.
You say it with an E.
I know, but I don't hear that.
Milk.
Okay.
How do you say pillow?
Pillow.
I heard somebody say pillow before.
Yeah.
And it hurt my heart.
I don't know.
Nah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Okay, so I remember, like, anonymity.
Oh,
like,
my God.
What the hell does that even mean?
Boy.
Anonymous, but like the anonymity of
She
something.
couldn't get that out, man.
So just a couple words like that, when you're reading them in your head, it's fine. You know what it says. When you're trying to say it out loud, it's a different thing. So that really, for me, it really was the emotion, and the emotion, but the physical reactions that were coming out, you know, and just, absolutely exhausting. It's so exhausting. But that was another, I'm so glad that we did it this way, you know, because even listening back to my story now, I have no doubt is going to unlock different things. And I'm already working on the second book. So everything that's being unlocked from this experience gets to carry over into the next one.
Are you sick of podcasts that just interview people with the same questions and gossiping nonsense?
Are you tired of hearing about what's wrong with the world? Can you locate your nearest orphanage?
Who cooked the Last Supper?
R.I.P. Mr. Potato Head.
Seppuku Harakiri.
Where is Mavis Beacon?
This is Hos.
And this is host Beefy.
Listen to the Beans and Rice podcast.
Exclusively in Braille and all streaming platforms.
patent pending.
Live from the Masonic Temple in Salt Lake City.
I love this fight. This is the fight that he's excited to watch.
Joel Harrow, top bantamweight in the state.
We are so lucky to be cage-side for this. Spins his way to a big-time blow.
And how tough is this guy?
And that first shot, he was out. Joel Harrow.
What a main event to cap us off for the night, huh?
And I'll be back in the Masonic in December.
The Tongan Kong strikes again. See Latu, welcome home.
That's the cool thing is that you guys, from writing your book to how to publish your book to how to do the audio format of this thing, you have the blueprint now. So hopefully it's a little bit smoother for round 2 of your second book. You said something really good about creating this audio platform. You mentioned some people don't read. Some people don't. They want to do books, but they just don't have the time to sit down. Or I'm definitely one of those guys where I'll read a couple chapters and then I set it down. I won't pick it back up for a month just because of time. How important is it for you to meet the reader or the consumer where they are?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's been a really cool part of the process, and just the feedback too, is the fact that, you know, I have sold over 200 books at this point.
By herself.
By myself. I am self-published.
I was gonna say, have you maximized what you could do with this book? You're already moving on.
No.
So that's kind of where I'm like, what more can you be doing for this book? You know,
there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, just the audio side, there's a lot. Like, speaking with my mentor about it, like that's how big this has gotten. Like I don't call my mentor for much. So when I do call, and it's like, Proof is calling me, what's up? And then when I called him, like, hey, I'm doing a book. The hell? 150Proof is doing? I'm doing a book. I didn't even tell him what the book was about. He was just like, okay. Well, then I said, this is what the book is about. You? Yeah, I'm doing this. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, once it's all done, you know, you can go here with it. You can go there with it. And then he got involved. He got the copy of the book. He read the book. He's just like, there's classes that could be done. You can chop this part. Boom. I was like, don't talk to me about that. You know? You know, but the fact that, you know, this is someone who is already published, you know, well established, you know, done stuff on Marvel and stuff like he's the guy. And it's just like, nah, you can run rampant with this. I was like,
which for me, I have 2 filmmakers that, I mean, you know, Professor Penn has read the book at this point, and I have another friend of mine that is a filmmaker, and he and his team are reviewing the book, and I'm about to have a call with him soon. Even if this book doesn't move beyond these gentlemen reading it, that is just another pinch me moment, you know, that for me, anytime that this book is being read, anytime that this story is being heard, it's creating a ripple, you know, and the opportunities that are in front of me now because of that, because the people that believe in what I'm doing, because it's not just right now, it's not just even from the book perspective, right? It's this training that I'm developing in this company, you know, that we're about ready to go full force on in 2026. Here we are, you know, like this year is going to be insane, but we're headed to New York in a couple of months to kick off just a lot of different marketing and opportunities and a national book tour, you know. It is, you asked me this to open the show, like, this is crazy. This is 4 months in since my book has been available, and since I walked away from tech and went full blown on this. And you know, December was a really hard month for me. There was a lot of highs and there were a lot of lows too. And I just made a Facebook post about this, I think yesterday, because one of the nonprofits that I've partnered with, Generation All, made a post, you know, kind of talking about what 2025 has been like. And one of their slides said top 5 books of 2025. And mine is right underneath Dr. Nadine Burke Harris, who wrote The Deepest Well, and she is the expert on ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences. Anyway, this woman she's a best-selling author. Dr. Frank Anderson, best-selling author. Everybody that I was listed with are best-selling authors, and there I see my book and the partnership that I'm building with Generation All and Sapria, is another nonprofit that I'm partnered with as well. All of these things are happening and I'm seeing things take shape. But
before you go on from that, I put myself in your shoes. I have accolades, and sometimes those accolades just seem too big for me, and it's like hard to accept that I am worthy of these things.
Like your imposter syndrome?
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever faced that?
All the time. And that's what every single time that good news comes in, I'm like, who are you? Who are you? But then I'm like, who the fuck you are. Like, you worked really hard for this. And so that goes back to the whole, attention. And like, yes, pay attention to me because I'm out here doing good. I am talking about things that are really hard. I have opened myself up to, things that it's interesting because I went and had a conversation with my grandmother. And that was one of the harder things that has happened. But I just lost my train of thought. Somebody redirect me.
You went and had a conversation with your grandmother about imposter syndrome. Was it anything having to do with that?
Maybe. This is the part of having 4 concussions that is not fun. And it's going to be interesting because when I'm on podcasts and I'm speaking, and sometimes my brain just does that.
We all do it though.
Yeah.
We all been there. How was grandma open to the conversation? Like, how did that even, because I know that you guys weren't really there for a while.
She was open to it. I had to initiate it, which frustrated me. But I did, and so it was interesting because one of the first things she said to me was, do you remember the last thing that I said to you? And, I'm thinking in my head what it was. And she said, I told you not to toot your own horn. And I just kind of looked at her and she said, what I mean by that is that you should let other people brag for you. And I looked right at her and I said, I am tooting my horn so loud and I'm really proud of myself, So
why do you think she felt that way?
Very much like it's just the mindset of women are supposed to stay small, and you're not supposed to boast about yourself and getting back to like the accolades and accolades. See, I just said that wrong too. All of that, like we are taught to be humble, to not brag. And I don't agree with that. Like, there's a difference between being confident and being egotistical. Confidence is a very sexy trait for any of us. And when you're truly confident, then you're going to get attention no matter what. Because people see that, and people also understand when it's fake versus when it's real. And if you're sitting in true confidence, it's because you've worked really hard to get there. To overcome, male or female, I think. But I think especially with women, we are told, no, stay small. Don't put yourself out there. Don't toot your own horn, because otherwise you're bragging. And at this point, hell yeah, I'm bragging. Like, do you have any idea how hard I've had to work to get here? So I hope that you feel the same way, that anytime that starts to creep in, I just have to remind myself, like, I've done a lot of work to get here. And I used to be somebody who hated who she was. So when I say I'm tooting my own horn, I would rather show up in full confidence than self-loathing any day.
You obviously got the book. You mentioned that on the 17th, there's going to be other authors there to have some moments to talk about what they got going on. How has been the response from other authors in the community?
Yeah, that's been a really cool experience too. I even had a friend that I referred to Proof, and I will continue to do that. People that have already written their books even have said, hey, I want to do an audio. What does that look like? Oh, hey, I have somebody. But even just being able to speak to the process, which is part of the January 17th event, like this is what the whole process looks like, from the different people that are involved, from a creative perspective and from a supporting perspective. So I love being able to share a stage, share a mic, share anything with anybody else that is telling their story too, because I know what it takes to be able to do that. And I know the impact that each of us has when we share our story, because there's somebody else out there in the world. There's a lot of somebodies, right, that are going to be able to relate and are not either in a position, it's not safe for them to share their story, or they're not ready to do it, or they don't know how. So to be able to connect with so many different people that are in the space of creativity in storytelling is really cool and really powerful.
You mentioned you and Proof going out to New York, getting some marketing done, creating opportunities out there. You have a second book, right, that's coming up. You have the audiobook that's launching. You also have a new company that you're creating.
Yeah.
How does 2026 looking like with your time? Like, how are you going to prioritize each of these things? Are you going to stretch yourself too thin? Like, how are you feeling about this thing?
Yeah, those are great questions and things that I've definitely thought about, because one of the things that I recognize already is that even though everything that I'm doing is really exciting and it makes me very proud, all of this is rooted from trauma. So it doesn't matter what I'm talking about, even with the company and the training and all of that, it's emotional. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to get up and I'm going to cry at every single thing that I do.
Let's be honest, Amber. Hello. Let's be honest. Hello. You're definitely going to tear up every time.
We're going after an endorsement with like Kleenex or something. You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Some waterproof mascara. Mary Kay, hey.
Yeah. Available now.
Hey, from me.
Sponsored by the Pink Ladies.
Yes. But understanding what self-care looks like, because it is very exhausting, and this is me. This is all on me. I have an amazing team around me already, and that's just going to continue to grow. But for this to get to the level that I want it to reach the people that I want it to, that starts with me. So yes, I need to make sure that I'm available. Sleep is really important to me, and so I try my very best to make sure that I'm getting, good quality shut-eye. I'm also at that fine age of womanhood where your body starts to do crazy shit, and it's going to mess with my sleep and different things like that. So yeah, just going into perimenopause at this point of my journey in my life is is a wrench that I didn't necessarily see coming, because my mom was a lot older and I was hoping.
If you had menopause on your bingo card for today's episode, you won. Boom. I did not have that. You're the first person to mention menopause on the podcast.
2026.
Boom. We don't have a menopause on. We don't.
Isn't that funny that it's literally called menopause? Maybe it's because women are supposed to take a pause from men during that time. I don't know. But you guys are lucky.
Y'all just drive us crazy our whole life. So boom. Evens
That's
out,
why we exist.
Yeah, women are crazy, man.
Yeah, of course.
They have everything in the world, not a worry in everything, and then they'll find something.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
oh yeah.
Come on, really?
Mm-hmm.
You upset about that?
Oh yeah.
What are we doing? Sorry, I'm bringing out my trauma onto the mic.
DreRawka's book coming soon.
Yeah, right. So, Proof, is this something that you want to kind of put more effort into in 2026? More audiobooks, helping out with this kind of project?
I would say yeah. Because it's funny, like her company is structured, is being structured. My company, we just restructured. So, yeah, I have no problems incorporating that. I have a team. I can literally send it to this person or this person. I will say, I won't do another one like this for anyone else.
Less emotion? Is that what you're referring to? I
won't, because, like I said, I don't take on projects I don't want to do, and I will never half-ass a project. So, someone else, it had to be someone. Let me not say I wouldn't. It had to be someone that I truly know before I would take it on, because it's very delicate. You have to handle it. I hate saying it, but like I said, the worst parts of this are the best parts, because those are the parts that we have to put the most work into. you know, and then to find that balance between the average ear and the emotion, it is definitely a task, you know.
How many hours did you guys clock? Did you guys take track of that?
Yeah.
I felt like this happened pretty damn quick. I mean, I don't know how long it takes usually to do an audiobook, but it felt like you guys got it done within, 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was a weekly thing, though. 2 days, 2 nights a week, a minimum 3 hours a night, so 6 hours a week. She was reading 8 chapters a night, roughly. Some of the beginning chapters, hella long, you know. Then we had those little chapters, like, oh, thank God, it's a little one, you know. But I will say this though, with her, we spent more, as far as the editing part, we spent more time editing, I say, the first 16 chapters. There's 39 chapters, so we spent the most of it editing the first 16. Because I think after that, she was just in the groove. She was way more comfortable. You know, we didn't have to keep stopping her. She would stop herself. So that's a learning process as well too. She has her own template now in the studio. Yeah, Amber Washington template. Like, yep, click, boom, load it. Yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, no, it's I mean, my team, we're able to do anything from a festival all the way down to recording small things, but yeah, doing something that emotional for, not say a stranger, but for a client, is very different, you know. Like, yes, she was a client, but we know her, you know. So it's just like, I don't think it should sound this way. I don't think she didn't mean it that way. You sure? Because Chance didn't know her as well as I do. So he's like, you sure? And then, you know, she messed up, and then I was like, that's the one she meant right there. So
yeah.
I haven't listened to it, obviously. You haven't listened to it just yet. Proof, you and Chauncey are the only ones that have really listened to this thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I dare someone to tell me, I don't know this book. I dare someone to tell me. I read the book first. So I read the book, said, okay, cool. Then I sat through. Initially, we only billed her for 8 sessions or 6 sessions. Either way, I think we ended up doing 10. So I sat through all those. Then I personally scrubbed each track. So I dare someone to tell me, oh, Proof, no, you don't know nothing about this book. I might choke the life out of it.
Book report coming up. Yo, that could be another content piece, is the book report or book club, you know, to kind of get some different eyes and ears. Maybe the Pink Ladies, maybe they all listen to it or something, and you guys rekindle, and they can ask you questions on it. You can do like have you ever seen the 20 verse 1 content pieces? Where it's like 20 people that believe in one thing and one person that defends one thing. So it's like Christians versus anarchists, right? And they all go together and they all speak about one thing. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but it'll be cool to have you guys do like a book club where it's like you get people that you trust, people that you have value in, and have them come with their book report, come with certain, because everybody reads and listens and has different questions.
Absolutely.
For one subject, set up that. I think that'd be cool, and you can they can dissect it, ask you certain things, and you be able to reply in a way that you haven't.
I like that, because what I want to do, I want someone who read the book. I want them to literally write down how they felt about it, boom, boom. Then I want them to hear the book. I want to know how that resonates.
Ooh. Yeah. See, that's another thing. Yeah. You can eat off this thing forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so back to Generation All, and you brought up a book club. So Generation All in 2026, one of their initiatives is to do a book club. So my book will be featured for March, you know, during International Women's Month. So I will be part of a book club. My book will be part of a book club, and I'll be speaking at one of their events too. But also the women that I went to the Sapria retreat with, Sapria is a nonprofit that offers resources and retreats to women that were sexually abused as children. So there's 7 women that I went to this retreat to. We started talking about the possibility of like all of us doing a podcast together, you know. So and I've been asked, like, are you going to do a podcast? What are, you know, this or this or this? But that goes back to your previous question too. Like, there's so much that I could do. There's so many different things that I can do. So one of the things that I definitely recognize is prioritizing, where my time and my energy goes into. And the biggest thing is being patient, is just trusting in the process. And that's really hard for me. I am not historically a very patient person. And that's something that has really changed for me this year. And just learning how to calm, anxiety. So there's so many different things that we can do. And that's what makes this journey, and the fact that we're really just getting started, so exciting, is the people that are involved, the people that have read the book, the feedback that's coming. And honestly, I want somebody that's read the book and didn't like it. Like, tell me. And the bigger that this gets, the more that's going to come.
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of my all 5-star rating on Amazon so far.
Don't be a dick now.
Let me be the first one.
But
didn't even read it.
But I need that, right? Because eventually I'm going to end up on some podcast or some stage or somewhere where somebody's going to come at me with something that's more negative, and I want to be more prepared for that.
I don't understand how you can have a negative review of somebody's memoir, though.
Well, so
it's not a fictional story. Like, it's not fantasy.
But
like,
that's the thing, because it's not a fictional story, and it may not have happened to them, or it may have happened to them. It's where now you're making me feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
So it's just like,
then why you pick up the book? You know what the book is. You know what you're in for.
Yeah, correct. But I'm going to read it because it's just like, nah. And then now I'm reading it and it's starting to trigger some anger in me. So it's just like, this is a piece of shit. I'm not going to read the rest of it, because now you don't want to face it. Or now you're mad because she was able to actually put it out and she's not afraid to say what you truly want to say.
Menopause.
Yeah.
Right. And
boom.
You guys have both read the book, so that it doesn't, there's people in my book that don't come across as very great people.
I was going to ask you, have you heard anything from him?
Not directly from my dad. My mom is the most amazing person.
She is.
That
natural on the microphone. Natural.
I can't wait to hear it. But watching my mom through this process makes me so proud. Like, if I didn't affect anybody else, if this went nowhere beyond what I am seeing from the growth in my mom, I would be okay with that. Everything would have been worth it. There are conversations happening, with me and then without me too. And so I just have a lot of hope that maybe someday, we can all sit down as a family and have a conversation that has never been had.
Proof. What should we expect when we listen to this book?
I nicknamed it "The Stars Align" because literally everything with this project. Speaking about her dad, right? She hadn't spoken with her father in forever, but the night that she had to record the parts that she had the conversation with her dad, her son's car broke down and her father was involved, so she had to speak with the father. So it's there, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, stars align, so it's like that's been a nickname for it. I think when you listen to this book, it's definitely one of those, you're gonna listen to the whole thing. Her mother has this timbre in her voice that we could not get out. Like, to an engineer, it's very, very annoying. But when I took my engineer hat off and just listened back to it, I just listened to her mom's part. Her mom makes you want to listen to the rest of the book. And her mom technically speaks before the book starts. So it's just like, because her mom is saying, like, you're going to see her strength. Through her mother has found, like, the understanding and stuff like that as a parent. So whether you're a parent or if you're a person just picking up the book, everyone has a mother. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just hearing her mom sets the tone, bro. Her mom sets the tone. Like, I was like, yo, this is it. This is it. So my nickname for it is Stars Align. If you listen to it, you're definitely going to get hooked because of the story, because of the research that's been in the background, you're going to, boom, it's there.
What's the process of trying to, like, shoot for, and I don't know if it's a goal for you, but to shoot for, like, bestseller? I don't know if that's a thing on audio, but
it is.
Yeah, it all goes together.
Yeah. So I have a friend, Kim, shout out Kim, that as soon as she read the book, she said, this is a New York Times bestseller. And I'm like, girl, you don't have to hype me up like that. Like, I love you. You know, like, you don't got to say all of that. It's a reality. Like, I have to just sit back and, again, remind myself how quickly all of this is happening, the feedback that is being received, the fact that I have done this by myself. You know, clearly I have a team, but the marketing, the book, everything, I didn't have money behind me. I didn't have a publishing team. I didn't anything. This is just me, you know? So the fact that it is going the direction that it is already, and ChatGPT has been my best friend in a lot of this process, and just being like, hey, how many indie authors or what's the average that they sell? I've doubled that in the lifetime, you know. Most self-published authors sell less than 100 books over the lifetime of the book.
wow.
Well, in less than 4 months, I doubled that. So that just speaks to the momentum that is there, and that will continue to grow, and, you know, just the attention that's going to be gained. Like, I see that as a reality. Is it a goal? It feels weird to say that it's a goal.
I mean, I think recognition for your hard work would be cool. Maybe it's not that's kind of my question is, what other ways do audiobooks get recognition? Is it awards? Audible, you talk Audible. Does Audible have their own awards?
I'm pretty sure they have something like Spotify, like the most it hits.
That's another thing too.
Rankings.
Yeah. Is this only going to be put on Audible? Is it going to be available on Apple Music?
For right now, Audible will, and then, I mean, listen, money is a thing for me right now because I'm in this gap season, right? So once funds start to come in, partnerships start to come in, and I financially can do more, then I absolutely will. I have had to work with what I've had, and what I've had has been almost nothing. So the fact that we've been able to accomplish what we've done, you know, is a miracle in and of itself. So yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit on this. And honestly, Dre, I want this book to be a bestseller, because if people are reading this book, they're learning, you know, we end childhood sexual abuse by talking about it. That is just the truth. So the more people that understand the effects of trauma, what to look for, you know, different types of things, the less that it happens. And the more people that read it, the more people will talk about it. You know, every single time any one of us shares our story, it gives permission to somebody else to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. New book. What's the timeline on the new book? What is the new book?
Yeah. So it's really just a continuation, and it's going to start with, hey, y'all, remember when I thought I was falling in love, ... It's really just like all of the things that I have experienced.
Oh, man.
You know, it's my journey to W. I am the most broken parts of me have been healed. And the Amber that I am sitting in front of you on the 1st of January of 2026 is a different Amber than I even was on the 1st of December 2025. You know, it is happening at such rapid pace. And every experience that I have, I'm such a self-aware and like, why am I doing that? I want to fix that. But having to understand, you know, where that behavior or anything comes from is the first step to changing something, right? So the next book, I don't know what the time frame is. I know that this company is going to be very successful. And so to already be where I'm at is its own success story. But to be able to go back and say, hey, remember that I was making $9 an hour before I got into tech? Remember that I was homeless for a time? You know, when I told people that I was leaving tech, I had a lot of people say, oh, you're so brave, you know? And to me, that was, oh, you're so crazy, like all of that. So this is more than manifestation at this point. This is what I'm doing, and this is going places. Like, the people that are bought into this are not people that would buy in just because. Mm-hmm. The people that have already bought in understand the vision, are completely aligned. And that's the book, that's speaking engagements, that's the training, that is coming, all of it. That's really the next book is being able to talk about how I then moved from, the first book and because at the end of my first book, I'm still in tech. I knew Whole Hills was coming. I was making that transition, but I still was in tech when I finished writing the book. And so just looking at what that process looks like again, and I'm going to toot my own horn, Grandma. I am a single mom and my boys are older, but still I'm very much involved in, hey, what's the next phase of life? My youngest is a senior right now. And I've been doing this alone for the last couple of years. And so even just that in and of itself, me being able to do, like literally when I'm cleaning my house, I'm like, you mean I can keep my house clean and do everything else that I'm trying to do? I've just sat back so many different days and been in awe of myself and the things that I've been able to do and accomplish with the support and the people that I have brought into my life and built relationships with. So that's really what the next book is going to be. It's just a continuation.
Do you plan on keeping the W theme?
Oh, I love that you asked me that question because I already started to kind of research how can I keep the parenthesis at least, and look at different words like that. So I would love to, some of the feedback has been really cool.
You got win,
I think with the understanding of whole, the word whole in the context that you're using it, I don't feel we are ever whole, right? They're talking about, I feel like we're always trying to better ourselves, right? And you even mentioned it, right? Your December 1st, 2025 is you're a different version of that on the first of the year.
Yeah.
So it's like, are we going to continue to chase that W? Not saying that we're not ever, we're always evolving.
Yes.
We're always learning new things and building us up.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious to see if the W theme is going to continue through all the ventures that you do.
And really, I would love to keep it a W because W has been just a significant, symbol for me. So
yeah, white. You white. You're a woman. If you turned upside down, menopause.
Menopause.
That's it. In all her photos.
So what is Nah, but I think she left her job and all that. So when she told me I'm leaving tech, I'm doing this and that and third, I think that's really the reason I was really down with it, because I know what that scary leap is, because I did that 5 years ago.
Yeah, we've talked about
I left my job of over 13 years, locked and loaded, to do my company full time on a whole different side of the country. You know what I'm saying? So, and then people's like, "Are you fucking crazy? You going to Utah? You have a state job?" Man, I had a state job. I was doing this, I was doing that, still have my company. Yeah, but if all that fails, you still have this. I was like, that's going to fail now because I'm going. This is going to work.
Yeah.
And it has. It's been crazy over there since I've been going, but it's a scary journey. But I did have people like my mentor. I don't think this is for me, blah, blah, blah. I think he's like, nah, you got it. That's how come sometimes she'd be like, then I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. You be all right. No, proof, because don't worry about it. You be all right. Then I'll tell her, you need a team. I told her that flat. I said, you need a team. I said, otherwise, you're not going to be able to actually continue doing what you need to do for it all to work. If you're trying to do it all yourself, that's from personal experience. I was doing so much where I couldn't even DJ because I was camera this, photo shoot this. It's like, damn, I don't even want to DJ. I'm tired, So I had to give up some stuff, and then team started to form, company started to form. Now I'm able to do all the different things I can do. So she's got it. I ain't worried about her.
You guys, when you're talking about the sessions, one thing my creative mind is, did you guys document any of this? Are there any videos out there lingering?
That is a Dre Rawka signature.
Oh, you know what? Doc did.
There's a few pictures.
Yeah, Doc recorded from a terrible angle. Thank you, Doc. But so I know he has some video of it. We did take some pictures.
We took some pictures, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we should have just been recording the whole time.
That's one thing that I would suggest going into book 2 or even just in general, like document everything. Just set up a camera in the corner while you do what you do.
I just need to start putting cameras like all over my house and in my car too. So you capture the
Whoa. What kind of content we doing
there's
here?
There's not very much happening at the current moment.
Whoa.
So
okay.
We'd be safe.
All right.
I just think that's more for, I mean, you're doing so much press, right? And a lot of what you talk about, if we had a visual to it, it just brings the whole story to life.
I like that part because you have the book, now we have the Audible. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, again, I had her read the book as if she was writing it. So when you listen to it, it sounds like she's telling you the story, but it sounds like she's writing it, right? And we even put a little couple of crackles and pops in there, like that old like vinyl sound, just so you can understand like this is really happening, like she's really telling it. But there are definitely parts where it can be on screen. So you say the whole visual part of it, yeah, people do want to see the journey of it, but I also feel like this is something that we could take to screen at some point, you know?
This is also crazy because if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm pretty open about what I share, you know, but two moments just came to mind as like visuals, right? One of them is yesterday after I had seen the post from Generational. Like it really creates a shockwave when you see your name, your book, anything mentioned with like, that was crazy. And it was such a proud moment for me, you know, and I showed my sons, and my son Caleb was in the room with me, and we were talking about it a little bit, and I just full on started bawling, you know, because I'm just so proud. And that's like, those are the moments where, yes, I wish maybe a camera was filming, because I'm not typically going to pull out my phone and, you know, record all of those moments. But those are the things that you see that are like, that really give you a good idea of like how this is affecting me. Now, on the complete opposite side of that was just a few weeks ago when I had the worst anxiety attack that I've ever had. And it's not necessarily something that I would want people to see, and it was something that I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about, but I'm sharing this journey so that people understand what it looks like, the good and the bad. That anxiety attack rocked me, because it wasn't, if you've ever had an anxiety attack before, you know, it's a lot of the hyperventilation and just, it's hard to breathe. And so 3 years ago, Christmas, right after my marriage imploded, was, up until this last one, was the worst one that I'd ever had. And it happened at my sister Heather's, and my mom, you know, my mom was there. 2 of my boys were there. So they're downstairs trying to get me to calm down, and I can't. I'm to the point where I feel like I'm going to pass out because I can't catch my breath. They call 911, you know, they come, they give me oxygen, they get me to calm down, boom, boom.
Can I ask a naive question?
Sure.
What triggers it?
Family stuff. Yeah. A lot of times it's the deepest rooted pain that incites these things. And so for the one that happened the other day, I got a phone call that my youngest sister had an emergency, you know, and all of my siblings and my parents were at the hospital with her. And because of the dynamics of my family right now, and just boundaries that I've set and ways that some people, you know, are struggling with me as well. In any other situation, I would have been there, you know. And that's the first family I've missed birthdays, I've missed holidays. This is the first family emergency that happened where my first instinct was, oh my God, I need to get to the hospital. And immediately following, I felt myself go into shock, and I'm driving because I was like, it's not going to be safe for me to be there, you know, and not from a physical standpoint, although it manifests physically too, but just like I knew that my nervous system was going to be so dysregulated going in. But that was very, very conflicting for me, because I'm thinking, do I take care of myself, or do I, you know, try to put me on the back burner for a minute and how I'm going to feel, and just show up in the way that I want to show up, because I wanted to show up. I was just in shock as I'm, thinking these things, and these feelings are hitting me in a way that I can't process in real time, I think. So I sat, I pulled up into my garage. My car was off. That's important to say at this point, but I just sat in the dark, and I'm just talking to ChatGPT at this point because, again, my whole family is there. And so I'm like, I don't even know who to call in this situation because I know I have people in my life that I can call, but who would really, understand the full context? I don't have to explain a whole bunch or whatever. I process by talking. And so ChatGPT was that for me, and my sister Heather, who's my best friend, calls. Heather hasn't slept at this point in like 36 hours. And she's like, I'm going to come over and check on you. And I said, no, you're not. You're going to go home and get some sleep. And she goes, no, I'm going to come check on you. And I said, okay. So at that point, I make my way into my living room. And at this point, the tears I wasn't crying yet. I just could feel it building. And again, if you've ever had an anxiety attack, for me, it gets to a point where I know that I can't stop it. I've tried the deep breathing. Okay, then it's just got to happen. You got to work your way through it. And so it was getting to that point. Heather walked in and the tears, the floodgates open and I just start crying, but then I start hyperventilating. And then my eyes rolled back into my head and it was like I was having a seizure, but I was alert, and I just remember seeing my hand and it was like this, but my whole body was like that. I couldn't make eye contact with her. I couldn't catch my breath. And it was the scariest thing that I've ever experienced. Paramedics came, cut my shirt, put me in the ambulance, took me in.
Why'd they cut your shirt?
To get to, they were putting all kinds of monitors on me
gotcha.
to put an IV in. They gave me meds to help me calm down. But that was terrifying because I felt so out of control. And because my body had never reacted to that level before. And I was like, what? While it was happening, I just kept thinking, my brain is breaking. Like, this is it. Like, I have handled so much, trauma that it just can't anymore. I thought I was going into psychosis. I thought I was going to lose control. And that shook me, and it took me a week to even just be able to process and start to actually like physically calm down from all of that. But I just kept asking myself, like, what do I do to prevent this? Because there's always going to be things that are out of my control, so what do I do to prevent this from ever happening again? And I don't know that I have the answer for that other than I keep doing what I'm doing. I keep talking about it. I keep self-reflecting. I keep loving, I keep sleeping. I keep doing the things that I need to do to take care of myself.
So during this whole time, you're in the hospital the same time as your sister?
I think my sister had just been released. Yeah. She went to the ER, and was able to get released and then turn around, boom, and it was the same hosptal. Yeah. So my family, my sister Heather was right back in there.
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all get a discount?
My mom.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they shared the bed or some shit. Like,
yeah.
2 for 1.
Yeah. So, but that just goes back to like, it's the root of everything. And the reason that I went to have the conversation with my grandma was to say this: your healing is not my responsibility. And that's the place that I've had to get to in my life is that I refuse to carry anybody else's healing at this point. This is mine, and I'm going to continue to do the work the way that I need to so that I get to be the happiest, healthiest version of myself. That's going to help people along the way. It's not intended to hurt at all, but I can't control that. And I can't delay anything that I'm doing because I'm worried about hurting somebody else either.
She says that in the book too, by the way. She calls her father before she does her first initial speaking ever about this. She tells her father, like, hey, I love you, but I'm going to say some things that may hurt. So it's not her first rodeo with it.
What's his response when he has his daughter call him up like that and say these things, and obviously his wife is involved? Like, what's kind of the?
His father says, "Okay." I know because I read the book. It says, "Okay."
He struggles. You know, I want to believe that there's a part of me, and actually I just did get a text from my grandma. I sent her, a screenshot of my book being listed amongst these other ones, and she texted me back last night and said, "I'm proud of you for writing a book, Amber. I always knew that you could." So there's a part of me that believes that anybody that has ever loved me is proud of me, but also there's a lot of people that are afraid of me. And that's just something that I've had to come to terms with, afraid, intimidated, threatened, because I have found a strength that other people have too, and that there's plenty of people in this world will never have the strength and the ability to speak and to lose what I've lost. But what I've gained is a million times more than anything that I've lost. And so I just have to understand that journeys look different for everybody. And there are people that will never go on a healing journey ever. It's too terrifying for them. And well, I struggle with that because I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it. But that's not true. Just because I can do something does not mean that everybody else can do it either. So
January 17th.
Yeah.
The audiobook is being launched. What's the event? Is there tickets? Where can we get more information about it?
Yeah, so this is going to be a smaller event. I do have an Eventbrite event. That tickets are listed. There's a link on my website. So it's www.wholeheals.com. Also, you can find me on all social medias, Amber Washington, or at The Listening Lamb. And I've got links to that as well. But there's 60 tickets total. Those are going. And it is a paid event at this point. What else did you ask me? Yeah, January 17th, 7 to 9. It's in Lehigh. And yeah, tickets are still available, but we're going to be really hitting it hard in the next week to get those all sold. So if you want them, hurry up and grab them. I'll have my team there. Like I mentioned, some of the other authors, Mary Crafts, Angel Herbert, and Halo. And those are all three women that have written books as well. So Angel and Halo, their books just came out. And Angel's a really good friend of mine, and she just released a poetry book on her 28th birthday. Nice. And I'm so proud of her because that was a really huge step for her to do that too. So it's a really cool experience to see other people find their voices and use their form of creative expression to get their stories out.
You ever think about creating a publishing company?
No, well, now that's another thing that can be added.
Well, I mean, you talk about you love seeing this and helping people.
I hadn't even ever thought about that.
That might be cool.
There's so many.
Create your own imprint.
Yeah, there's so many different directions that this can go. And ultimately, what I want to do is just that, help amplify voice, share story, and educate people. And we educate through words. Through experiences.
Any change in the art for the audio version, or you gonna keep the same art?
No, I'll keep the same art. Yeah, I love it.
I
think she killed it.
You want it all to stay uniform, so
dope. All right. Well, you can also get the book if you want a paperback on Amazon, right?
Yep, it's on Amazon. It's also at the King's English here in Salt Lake.
What's that?
The King's English is a local bookstore, so it's in a bookstore currently, we're working to get it like everywhere. Barnes and Noble. I mean, it's going to be on Barnes and Noble. That's a huge goal of mine for 2026. So,
what's the process of that?
Submission, and we've already done that. And even just the email that came back on that was really cool. This just happened this week too. But they said, hey, we can't carry you yet, but we would love to put you I will be, once they get it up, a searchable author. Like I have a biography I will have a biography on Barnes and Noble website. Like that's cool. Even crazy. Like I start to Google myself and I'm like, hey, there I am,
So that is a thing. When you Google yourself, you know, you'll start to see things like, damn, I did do that. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, it's remarkable. I will say that. That's one of those wow moments to me. Like, damn.
Even just the podcast, and I have to give shout out to you because I've had multiple people come to me through our first podcast.
Hell yeah.
In fact, oh my God, that's a whole other story I got to tell when we have more time because
bad or good?
No, it's crazy.
Oh, okay.
It's so awesome.
All right.
One of the top podcasts. Come on, man.
We're doing
Google
all
this
right.
guy. Just Google this
Don't
guy.
Google me. You'll see some shit.
Google this guy. This one of the top podcasts.
Remember that squeaky clean I told you? Keep the squeaky clean.
You Dre, you read the book. You know I'm not squeaky clean.
Yeah, but we didn't. There wasn't cameras back then. I'm just playing.
Oh my God. Oh
Boom.
my God.
I want to see the security footage from the taco joint.
Right? Oh, yo.
That's what I want,
bro.
I want to see the security footage from that.
I said, yo, she's a crook. Oh my God.
You're at home.
She's a crook.
And here's the thing, my record's been expunged, so I don't technically have to talk about this, but
you don't. But you did.
I did.
We joked about it. Chance was like, yo, did she steal the mic? I was like, she's good. She's good. Yeah, we joked about it.
Pat her down.
So yeah. I was like, I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna walk out.
That's funny.
Nah, it's all good. Man.
Proof, man. Do you want to hit 150 Entertainment? What services you talked about a wide range of it. But by the way, got my nice jacket. Got my squad jacket on.
Squad, yes,
I love
yes. Squad 150 Entertainment. Yes, we are an entertainment company and production company. We can handle production for anything, all the way from a festival, like I said, all the way down to podcast. We do recording, clearly. Lights, sound, engineering, visuals, DJs, recording, photography, videography. We even offer bartenders, fully licensed, fully insured, East Coast and West Coast. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot more. So my website, 150Proof website, is rocking, but the Squad 150 Entertainment website will be officially up and running the end of the month. I'm super excited about that. So
yeah,
super excited about that. So
you need my headshot or something?
Oh, actually, we need a lot of stuff to finish it up, but we're official. 100% official, like I said.
150 official.
150 official license. Trust me, I got the bills to say that it's paid for. But I am very excited for things to come. The team has definitely become more family, which is something that was a major goal for me. I didn't want, the team is handpicked by myself and my brother, DJ Taz. He lives in New York still. But we didn't want any and everybody, and how I know we're on the right path because any and everybody's hitting me now. Yo, man, if you need me to help me, I can help.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. No, thank you. So
it's nice when you get to the point where you just get to sit back and watch.
It is, and actually, your event on the 17th will be the first event that I actually just will be just the production manager. I won't have to be hands on any gear or anything like that. So I'm excited about that. I didn't know I was speaking on the 17th.
I was going to say, other than you speaking.
But now I know I was speaking. But normally I'm either engineering some part of it. But on the 17th, we are providing lights, sound. We will be recording her as well. So I'm very excited. Very excited for you. Very excited for the company. Very excited for your company. 2026, baby, we here.
It's a good partnership.
I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, menopause.
All right. And Miss Washington, anything else before we wrap it up?
Just thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being my first guest of the year.
Yeah.
We set the bar high. No, you guys better come in. Menopause is welcome.
That's
it. Right.
Best-selling author. Boom.
Facts. That's really cool to be able to say that. That's really cool.
I mean, we're manifesting it.
Nah,
it's there.
I'm very excited because, like I said, we're going to New York. She's going to be amongst a bunch of other authors and other people that's in that field. So just her shaking hands and kissing babies, as I tell her all the time, like it's just going to open up a whole world for her. And her story, man. A lot of people can resonate with that story because they don't want to tell it,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't mind someone else telling their story, and they won't say it publicly, but they'll send a private message.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or, yo, oh my God, so those little things, it's gonna really happen, man. So
I talk about meeting the listener or the viewer where they are, right? If somebody's visually impaired, this is gonna be a huge thing for them.
Yeah.
They can just listen to it. If the person is blind, are we gonna get a Braille version of this?
I mean, we better have every. Like
That'd
I said,
be cool.
Once this money comes in, every languages, because that's the thing about this story is that and the company that I'm building too. This is not meant to stay in Utah. It's not meant to stay just in the States. It's meant
it's funny.
we're part of a
Yeah, because when we was actually doing some more research on it, I was like, okay, well, clearly, her voice, this is how it sounds in English. I'm like, how the hell is this going to sound in French? So, like, we was going through different things, and it's just like,
Did you put her voice through the AI in Spanish?
We did. We did French because French, Spanish is like, I hate to say it's more common, but French is a little more difficult as far as like the emotion. And it was just like,
That's so cool.
If I didn't know what was just read, that sounded sexy as hell. I was like, that works. I was like, okay, cool. But like, that's where, with the research, it's like, clearly we had to make sure we took the right avenues where we could just press the button to change the language and stuff like that. So,
damn, that's a whole nother reach I didn't even think about.
It's
languages.
Like again, people think you get behind the microphone, read, blah, 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 and we're done. And it's just like, nah, it has to be a certain way. Like, think about when you watch a Chinese movie or something like that, and it's like, they're speaking in Chinese, but we're hearing it in English, so the words don't line up. So we don't have to worry about the visual part, but we do have to worry about the whole emotional part coming across.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, clearly she doesn't speak French. If she did, it would be a lot easier. But it was like, okay, how do we get this to work? And I thank God for AI. People were like afraid of AI.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of AI,
No.
man. It's just, you have to know how to use AI.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So to have stuff like that, it was just like, oh, this actually works. Or if we tweak it a little bit this way, it still comes across in English, and it did come across in French. Like, okay, cool. Now Portuguese, I don't know if we're gonna get that one, guys. it was not sounding good at all. I was like, I don't know about that one. So. But yeah, it sounded good in French, and it sounded good in Spanish, of course, and English. So we already went down that rabbit hole already.
Cool.
So
Well, I'm excited to listen to this thing again. I want to listen through it, like on my drives and whatnot. And like you said, have the version of you already read it. Let's listen to this thing. So January 17th.
yes,
Listening Lamb. What's the other? What's the website?
Whole Heals, HEALS, wholeheals.com.
There you go. Make sure you go get a ticket while you can. And patreon.com/DreRawka, DreRawka. But the best thing to do is to like, share, comment, subscribe, share this story. Go back and listen to our first episode. I know we didn't get into the weeds of the book or the subject matter. We do on that episode. So definitely go check that out and get familiar with Miss Washington. And as always, y'all have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. We're out. Peace.